Hello everyone, today it's time for a new collection video and we're going to talk about this Philips Mini Iridium. So this is Philips' answer to a very small version of the very popular Philips Iridium lantern. And this is actually a quite recent lantern, it's not that old. I think this lantern kind of came along more with the Philips Iridium Gen 2 than the Gen 1, this being the very small version of the Gen 2, which is just called the Philips Mini Iridium, because those lanterns were a lot bulkier than the original Iridium versions. And this lantern became quite popular in England as well as Germany and also in the northern Scandinavian countries. Not so much in the Netherlands, but it's still where this lantern is from, which I recently had to replace it, and I thought it's actually quite a cute version of the Iridium. It's very small, it's like only 40 centimeters big. Not too sure if I'm going to keep it in the future, but still, it's nice to have. And it looks pretty great, especially with the glass bowl, and it actually feels way better than the quality-wise than the original Iridium. Like, it's completely made from metal with a glass bowl, so not much that can go wrong here. The only problem is that, but I think it's just vandalism more than it's just a bad system. Like, there's one cycle path where we have these, and I think it's just people trying to vandalize the lanterns, but they constantly keep opening the bowl, so the entire unit is kind of open and exposed to the rain and wind. But I think it's more vandalism than just it being bad quality. On the front of the lantern here we have the Philips logo. There's not much going on the top here. I do have to admit that I spray painted it, which you can kind of see because it didn't really finish the job, but I ran out of spray paint. But since it was on a bridge, the top was exposed and the color wasn't that great. We kind of had to spray paint it for it to be anything. But yeah, let's open up the lantern, which again is ready. You can do that with the clip on the front, and then actually, which is not very usual for the Philips Iridium lanterns, the bottom opens, just more like a lantern from the USA would do. And the fixture runs a 45 watt CPO bulb, which isn't something common in the USA. Which is what the bulb itself looks like. I have made videos about before on the channel, but I discovered through comments underneath the video that they don't have these bulbs in the USA. This was kind of Philips' answer actually to LED bulbs, but I'll make a separate video about that because it's quite an interesting situation. And it runs on this electronic 45 watt CPO ballast. And here we have the sticker, they call it the STS 451. And unfortunately no dates on this or anything, but it's quite a recent lantern. I think it's from 2012 or something, around that time. You can also adjust the reflector, the way you want the light to shine, like this with this clip. Which is something that I always like a lot about Philips lanterns. They always have this. Every lantern has like a weird unique system that isn't as necessary. But this is definitely something from the more recent years, because like 50 years ago they definitely wouldn't care about the position of the refractor as much. I had to wire the lantern up real quick, and let's close it back up, which is kind of hard to do, but that's basically like with any Iridium. And let's turn this lantern on. Which it's a metal halide bulb, so the startup is very similar to like a CDO or CDM bulb. But I think that these can also run like up to 90 watt CPO, considering those bulbs aren't much larger than this one is. But I always thought these had a pretty nice startup. They go through a lot of different colors like blue, And also some turn out kind of greenish, just like murky vapor. But it is a very bright bulb. You can tilt the lantern to the side, you can see the colors a little bit better. And it actually starts out more like a cold white color, and then it slowly goes to a warm white color. But this bulb definitely isn't as pleasant as a low pressure sodium bulb. But the lantern itself, in my opinion, definitely does look pretty nice. Just that I'm not that big of a fan of the CPO bulbs. But that's basically all I have to say about this lantern. Thanks a lot for watching. Please let me know what you think about it. And then I'll see you in the next video.